Hello, hello, hello everybody. Hello, welcome to my stream. As many as you know, I am streaming in China, so my stream may go down or up or down, side to side, whatever. So expect the unexpected when it comes to the quality of this stream. And and first, let me send some tweets. I will send it on Twitter and then Blue Sky. And it's more difficult because I'm using a VPN, so that's harder. But I have to learn to adapt if I want to keep on streaming. So you know how it is if you use VPN for stuff. So yeah, so I don't know if the quality is good. I checked the one in the for in Stars and Time yesterday's stream, and the quality was low. I don't know if that was my fault or whatever, but I don't know. But uh, but yeah, I'm just gonna see if anybody shows up, and it's almost 1 p.m. here, so and then yet I'm still gonna get a cup of coffee. So yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. I so like the thing is like when I load VODs from Twitch, usually it takes quick time when I was in Denmark, but because I'm using VPN and the internet here is not that good, it takes like almost a long time. So after this, I'm gonna download the VOD for yesterday's and Stars in Time, and then upload it on YouTube after I'm done. So, okay, a minute. I'm gonna take a sip, unless you want to hear me sip coffee. So, that's good. Apparently, the coffee's from Vietnam, and it's really good. But I'm a little concerned because there's a picture of a skunk in the cover with the cup of tea. So, I don't know if the skunk has something to do with coffee or it made the coffee or whatever. But I don't know. Yeah. So we're gonna be playing. As you can see, I was a teenage eco-colonist. And just like every other time, I'm gonna have a hard time pronunciating names and reading. Like that's kind of my thing now, like I can't read. But yeah, let me continue. Completely forgot where we were last time, so bear with me. What year is this? Does it say? Okay, age 17. Let's see if anybody needs something to do or needs a quest. You find Nami in the lounge, flanked by two hollow screens and doodling in a sketchbook with real paper. One hollow screen is playing an animated kids show, while the other is a wall of text that looks like it might be a translation guide of some kind. Nami's attention moves between the three easily. When they see you, they jump and quickly close their hollow screens, sitting up straight and clutching their sketchbook to the chest. Oh, hi, Selene. They giggle, rubbing the back of their head calmly. How are you doing? Yeah. Nami relaxes a little, breathing, exaggerated sigh. Good, because I really like cartoons. Nami sets their sketchbook aside and looks around conspiratorially. I thought you were gonna bust me for jailbreaking my hollow pad. They said other Helio kids are have restrictions on what they can watch and for how long, but you guys have so many more cartoons as we had. Nami throws their arms in the air, like the first season of the Turbo Girl Hyperjet Transform. What? Uh, Nami shrugs and wiggles their finger. It was just like modding my gaming gauntlets. They reply, sure, a little bit more complicated because, oh my gosh, no offense, but your hollow palm interface is decrypted, so decrypted, but a lot of the fundamentals are the same. Nami closes her eyes and, excuse me, tips her head to the side, smiling. You got a hollow pad genius here, too. They say, Dish was Mondo helpful helping me figure out your old system. Nami nods, blinking innocently. Yeah, they chirp. He's a total sweetheart, don't you think? Anyway, the important thing is that I give get to watch every episode of Turbo Girl Hyperjet Transform. Nami continues clapping their hands against their cheeks. It's the best cartoon ever made. What else has girls who look like aircraft from the waist down battling evil aliens while dealing with the stress of high school life? The Hilo Media Archive only has 2 seasons through 9. 2, 3 of the OVAs. Nami says, puffing their cheeks out. I can't believe in the fourth OVA, Flight Captain Yumiko, Yumiko gets captured by the aliens and brainwashed into thinking she's been an alien sleeper agent the whole time. You haven't seen the first half season? Nami shrugs, pokes one finger to her chin. Spaceship kids make do. You don't have to know everything about something you like in order to call yourself a fan. Nami continues, just liking it if all your heart is good enough. Oh, I don't have that. Nami laughs and flips over their sketchbook showing off some of their drawings. I was drawing some fan art of the show, they say. Well, it's kind of fan art. Okay, it's more like if I was a character of the Hypergirl Turbo Jet Transform. It looks good. Keep it up. Too bad I don't have that. It looks good. Keep it up. Oh, thanks, Elaine. Nami says, shooting you a stunning smile. I will, for sure. Excuse me for burping. That coffee's really coffee's really me gassy for some reason. I don't know why. I don't think coffee's supposed to make you gassy. Is it? I don't know. I like coffee, but I really don't know much of it. Okay, so I almost got bravery, so let's see if I could do some bravery stuff. Let's see. I'm guessing it would be here, right? Oh no, that's not it. Bravery over here, correct? Need bravery 10 or greater. I need combat. Can I? Let me try. You report to Security Chief Rex about guard duty with the defense squad. Oh, you're back, Rex says. He walks over to face you. Not my original colonists want to step up for defense duty, not like these Hilo soldiers, he says. I've been trying, the rest of the council might not agree it's necessary to recruit children, but they haven't seen the things I have. So, do you find your courage? Barely step forward. When Rex smiles, it's not a happy sight, but do you have what it takes to survive? Yes, I do, and I'm ready to survive. Says, okay, you're in. See you at the dawn, recruit. Let's see what happens. For this, combat bravery, training base. Kudos. Damn, that's combat and bravery. Combat and bravery are high. Let me try with one so I could get the bravery up. Guard duty. Mid-dust combat, okay. Alright, let's see. Alright, let's see. Hopefully this is better. 4, 7. Wait. It's already 4, so 6, 9. Oh, sweet. Yo, we did it, chat. Yay. So bravery should be good, right? Late dust. Wait, I still don't have enough for bravery? Yeah, that sucks. Let me try again with bravery. Combat and bravery. You show up for orientation to guard duty. Vase and Amir are here as well, listening intently to Security Chief Rex as he teaches you specifics of the colony defense. There's the walls, of course, and the lookout tower, and the robotic turrets. Those are the obvious weakness, like the gates and less obvious ones, like the pipes that divert runway water away from the colony, and there's a high priority targets like engineering and geoponics. You're surprised to learn that the living quarters are considered low priority. Duh, Vase mutters. During an attack, everyone's supposed to be defending the colony, not hiding under their beds. It's It's a lot to learn quickly, and Rec doesn't let you make mistakes. He drills you and drills you. First of your knowledge of the colony, and then on the actual drills, physical fitness and reflexes, loading and firing a plasma rifle, securing a dangerous situation, a combat tactics both as group and solo. If you look out of the wall and see anything, you'll be the ones to shoot. He says, as you struggle with reloading the cartridge in your plasma rifle, there might be there might not be time to wait for backup. You have to be able to make it and act on your right choice without hesitation. He looks right in your eye. You're not only a guard while you're on duty, he says seriously. You are being charged with the defense of the colony itself. I expect you to be ready at all times to answer the call. Frustrated, you fumble the cartridge and clatter to the ground. Rex stops his under his foot. No slacking. Keep your mind and body sharp and ready for anything. We are at war, he continues, leaning and closely driving his point home. He's been saying that a lot recently. He really believes everything Loom says about the outside world. Rec leaves you figure out how to reload your plasma on your own. Base is already finished, of course, but Amin stops what she's doing to help you. There's a latch here, she says, flickering it with her thumb. If it's deployed, you can't click on the cartridge. Got it? You nod and easily when it says, I'll make Red proud someday. Amin laughs and claps you on the back. Yeah, he'll just a big teddy bear, right? She finishes her reload, shoulders rifle, and then she and Beas leaves together. Four. Hold on, let's see. 2, 3, 5, 5, 5. Hmm. Okay, that didn't go well. 4? Hmm. Okay, that did not work. Uh, uh, how about if I give one of them wood? Yeah. Wait, that goes 4. Negative. 1 negative kudos. But that's for kudos, not for this. And maybe switch it around? Oh, what did I do? I messed up. Hmm. You know, usually when you give something more, it's supposed to be better, but apparently not. See? It's supposed to help, but apparently not. And let's see. What if I do this? Yay, I win. Ooh, we got the nice one. Sweet. Bravy's still not up. I don't like that. Okay, it's wet, so... Hey, what's up, Dish? You can't find Dish outside the wall, even though the duty roster has him working on the expedition vehicles today. After asking around, one of his crewmates points to you to where he's seen him disappear to the forest just 10 minutes ago. You thank her and set off in the wilderness. You picked up a few things about tracking after hanging out with Dish for so long. You follow his trail into the nearby mushwood until you hear him speaking calmly and slow. Shh, it's going to be okay, just let me help you. You follow his voice and find him kneeling on the ground next to a wounded Hopeye. The scent of blood and an animal fear colors the air. Dish knife glitz and he pulls the sieve. Don't worry, he says to the creature. I got you. I won't hurt you anymore real soon. A small branch under your foot and Dish head jerk up, his eyes wide open, but he doesn't greet you. Instead, he gestures you to get close to look at the Hopeye. The single leg is mangled beyond recognition from a hunter's snag trap and is bleeding heavily. It can only stare up at Dish, defeating its 4 eyes, and struggles once more, then still goes from extortion, wheezing miserably. They tell everyone they're human traps, Dish murmurs, but humans lie, don't they? They all lie all the time. The hunters won't be back to check the traps until tomorrow, Dish continues, looking down at the little Hopeye with a grim expression. I have to put it out of its miseries. It's the kindest thing you can do. Dish nods once and steels himself. Clean cut, he slices through the neck of the hot eye. It tenses, twitching it forward, relaxing, goes limp in the arm. Dish is quiet at your side for a long time, breathing heavily, though his nose and out through his mouth, like he's meditating. It's better to die quickly than suffer in a trap. But there shouldn't be a trap in the first place, he says. Eventually. He clicks his tongue against his teeth. It's pointless. It was going to die eventually, but not here. It's not natural. It's not the death part that bothers me. It's our vanity. Humans are so afraid of extinction that they'll kill it indiscriminately to avoid it. Just takes out a cloth and wipes up the hot eye blood off his blade. His movement slows and reverent. I used to let it control me too. I thought dying meant that living was pointless, he continues, but now I know the truth. Life is short and brutal and hard. It's up to us to fill it with so many experiences as we can. Are we going to explore? Are we going to spend our lives cooped up in the colony, subjugating nature because it strikes fear into our animal brains? He smiles faintly. Are we going to get out there and live the life we've been given? He looks down at the corpse on the hotline and lays his hand gently against his hand. We're all going to die like this in the end. There's no use denying it and letting the fear of control us. Isn't it obvious? Dish asks, looking at you. It's not like I'm going to throw myself off the cliff, but it's not something I let control me. He smiles genuinely, and because I don't fear death, I do so much more living. You should try it sometimes. Dish lifts the hot body in his arm and raises it to his feet. The smell of death will attract animals right in the other trap, he says. I'm not taking back the calling to be stuffed like into a recycler. We have to take it into the woods and give it back to nature. You and Dish walk further into the forest in respectful silence. Dish cradling the dead Hopeye against his chest. Eventually, he tells you to wait while he finds the tracks of a predator and lays down nearby. And offering the forest accepts without acknowledge. He returns you the bloodstained solemn. It's done, he says. You begin to walk back to the colony, though it's clear Dish is taking his time. After a few minutes of walking, he turns to you and grabs your arm, forcing you to stop and look at him. Solane, he says, his eyes burning. Promise you won't let me end up like that Hopeye. As you question his look, he squeezes your arm to the point that it's almost, if I'm trapped here, just let me go. I promise. Dish breathes a sigh of relief. Thank you, Solane. He stares at you for unnerving seconds perfectly still before jerking into motion and fishing a pendant necklace from his clothes. He unclamps it from his neck and holds it onto you. Here, you should have this. I want you to have it. You turn and let him put it around your necklace. The pendant is large but surprisingly light. You recognize it as a fragment of the unisaur horn. Its pretty scent color shimmering in the light. Dish hands paws on your neck. Maybe, he breathes so quiet you almost don't hear it. Is that okay? He shakes. His voice is shaking. Is he scared? Dish, I feel the same way. You do? You do? And Dish says, you're not just saying that because you feel sorry for me, right? You turn around and shake your head. You waited a long time for Dish to be ready, and he finally came to you on his own word. A bird you had to let go be free. Dish regards you with a serious respect. You're the only person in the colony that I ever really cared about, he says. I don't know why you bothered trying to be my friend when I was trying to push everyone away. Dish dropped, his eyes dropped to your mouth and linger there. I care for you so much, Solane, he says softly. It almost scares me sometimes. I never felt like this before about anything. He cups his face and bends to kiss you. It is sweet and slow. You can't imagine what I do to keep you safe. You step away and look down on the ground, suddenly evasive. Listen, I don't know how much longer I have left here, he says softly. I just want you to know that I want to spend the time I do with you. Oh, okay. Alright. Jason is sitting on the rooftop of one of the expedition transports, fiddling with something in his hands. As you approach, you can see the glint of the pocket knife in his hand. He looks up at the carving. Oh, hey, Solane, he says, looking at it a little bashful. Need a new toggle for my backpack. I mean, we won't be able to rely on nanoprinting forever. Flirt. I was just thinking the same thing. Dish says, giving you one of his rare smiles. You head out to the gates. You and Dish check your gear and set off on a deep wilderness hike. Dish in the lead. After a few hours, he led you both on a grueling switchback up the side of the cliff. As you put yourself over the ledge, you curse his name. Dish, who is somehow still standing as hale and hearty as he ever, just laughs. Come on, he says. You groan just a little further. The view is worth it. You stagger to your feet and loop your arms around him, letting him support you as you take in the view, which is a promised awesome and sense that fills you with genuine awe. A nearby waterfall begins its descent down the steep cliff, pooling at the bottom of Azure Lake that glimmers in second sunrise from here. The colony is insightful as much. Oh wait, I completely forgot. I forgot to change the category. I think it still says in stars and time. Oh boy. Let's see if I could change. All right, hold up. I completely forgot. Oh boy. Oh, that's not it. I by accident clicked on Oblivion. I don't know how that happened, but all right, just I just do a generic title. Hopefully, hopefully it shows up. Cause I just Cause I just did it on the what do you call it the mobile app. So then give me a minute. I'm gonna check the mainstream thingy on the web browser. So give me a minute. Okay, cool. It works. All right. I apologize for that. You stagger to your feet and loop around the arms. Oh, okay. A nearby waterfall begins its. I already read that. Dish takes a deep breath and releases it. I wish more people could see the colony like this, he says, holding you close. I think they really realize how small and powerless we are compared to this planet. Cool. Okay. My perception is through the roof. My combat is ahead. I need to really change my bravery. Hmm. Unless there are other things that I could do with bravery. Let me check again, because I've... Maybe persuasion? Yeah, I do need more persuasion. Let's try persuasion. It's time for your end of the term humanities project. You, Tang, Mars are all excited to finish the project, showing everything you learned in the subject so far. Okay. Congruence helps you come up with the project idea. Pretend you're studying 500 years from now and you're learning about the first colony on Bertumina. What sources of information would you like to be reading, watching, or listening in order to learn about life back then? Create one of these artifacts for future students of the humanities. We should write a textbook, Tang says. During your brainstorming session, the more we learn, the more we likely pass the class. All we have to do is make sure everything is in there, and we're done. Mars rolls her eyes. That's so boring, Tang, she whines, putting her head on the Tang's shoulder. Who wants to write the literal book? We should do something funny and stylish, like, oh, how we should make a music video. Tang looks horrified. We are not making a music video, she says, grimace. Surely we can meet somewhere in the middle. Mars turns her head so she can kiss Tang on the cheek. The bridge of Tang's nose goes pink as her eyes start to her earnestly. Every band needs a bass player, Mars groans. Oh, or a guitarist. Tang shudders when her whole body dislodging Mars, who giggles and relents. Okay, Mars says, let's be serious here. Tang's right. We have to do something that proves we learn everything about the subject that's worth knowing. Mars is right, too, Tang admits. There's no shame in relying on her charisma. You mean my good looks? Mars asked, flipping her hair over her shoulder. Tang looks down at her hollow palm and smiles. Truly, we're better than gals being pals. In the end, you agree to record a news segment about the colony war or nature. We spin. We're spinning. You're gonna report. Just effects. Ah, great. It's difficult. Great, great, great. Okay, that's I could deal with that. 3, 3, 3, 3. What? Oh wait, that's not really 3. Uh, maybe I could do blues here then, if it's gonna be like that. No, I didn't. No, I don't think that's good. 3, 4. I think so, but yeah, final round. I don't think we're gonna make it. Chat. 3, 3, 3. Hmm. Uh. No. This is gonna be difficult. This is gonna be a. Yeah, this is gonna be a difficult one. 3, 4. What if I do this? Well, the stress isn't that bad, so that's fine. I'll push through. No wrong in pushing through on that one. Ooh, we got a cool one. You, Tang, and more pour everything you know into the final project. It's a hit. You even posted on the colony message board and get tons of comments and even few kudos. It's grateful to know that something you've written is being enjoyed by the people who love. This is why old Earth poets wrote so much. Conjoy smiles at you. Actually, you are, as the Earth poets once said, if you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you're going. She invites you to come and audit the class whenever you're like. Cool, we did it, chat. Midwest. Okay. Oh, looks like you have something to say. You spot Tangent leaning against the wall outside engineering. She's yawning, rubbing her eyes and staring up into space. She startles as you walk around. Oh, Selene, I was just taking a short break. Join the yawning. Did you stay up all night too? She asks. I don't even remember when I slept last. It might have been a few days ago. You haven't slept in days. More like 3, she replies, then pauses for another jaw-crackling yawn. But as I said, I'm tired. Even my enhanced body has limitation. You look at her quizzically. I don't need to sleep as much as other people. It's a genetic, wasn't it? What is it? She says foggily. You know, a DNA enhancement. I guess sometimes even I forget to do it. I should set myself a reminder. Holo add to schedule sleeping nightly 2300 for 3 hours. Her holopem emits a tone in response. Shannon nods sleepily. This should do it, she murmurs. Her eyes are practically closed. Find her someplace to take a nap. You find her. Tag follows you, obeying into engineering wing, too tired to protest. You slip into Mary, grab a blanket and pillow off a shelf, but the time you return, Tag is already falling asleep, curled up in an egg chair waiting in the waiting room. You gently place the blanket over her, and she hums happily before going to slack with much needed sleep. Let me, yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Make sure the OBS was okay. It says I may need a break soon. Let me do one more thing and then let me upgrade my bravery. I don't understand why I haven't. Hold on, let me check. For persuasion, 27, so I don't think I'll make it enough. Oh, bravery. 57. Okay, I think I need 3 and then I'll be good. I think if I do it, yeah. It's hard to carry an umbrella and a plasma rifle at the ready. so you had to settle for ponchos and boots. It's still miserable with rain all month, with only a few breaks to really enjoy how the rain has made your entire patrol route one huge mud puddle. You long to be posted somewhere indoors just for a few days, surely, and you're near someone to guard all of their very important whatevers. Anything but to walk one more meter in the muck. Go to work. Hmm. What if I do this though? 39. Sweet. Okay. I'll take it. I ain't complaining that. I'll take it. Yeah, I need to relax on the walls. Dish is also relaxed on the wall. He greets you with a question. Hey, Solane, if you could push a button and it will kill everyone on Earth, but the colony will survive forever, will you do it? What if it was the opposite and you should push a button and we all die? But would it fix all the problems for everyone on Earth? I barely know how to answer the question plagues you for a whole month. That is a really good question. Let's get rid of this one. And this one. Oh, and I could get rid of one. Yeah. Glow. Oh, Jesus. This is where everything goes to you know what. Dish is standing stock still staring into the wilderness. It doesn't matter what we do or how hard we fight, he mutters. Nature is going to win in the end, it always does. I don't have any. Oh, I do. Dish lights up and oh, whoa, oh yeah, this same dialogue. Hmm. Mm. Okay, so it doesn't work. Alright. Hmm. That's weird. Like that bravery. Okay, so it's not. Okay, so it's not that clear. I thought it was. Whatever. Let's work on persuasion then. Hmm. Persuasion. I wish there was like more things that could give you more what do you call it? The more buttons, more points. You're doing creative writing in teams and you're paired with Mars. You wish it was Tange, but also, she also does so well on these. The theme is Earth natural environment. Mars takes the topic at face value and wants to write about how beautiful everything was on Earth, with blue skies and green planets everywhere, and the huge oceans that went forever. It was almost gorgeous in the careful stage movies you've seen in Holovid. Mars idea. Write about climate problems instead. I guess I'll go with her idea. Mars takes the creative part of the creative writing literally, describing Earth's lush forests and varying plain deep, jewel-like oceans with her ribbons bordering on the I think this, obscene. She's pretty passionate about it, so you let her do most of the work. Mars insists she get to present to the class. This, too, is a good idea. Mars is a born presenter. You aren't sure if this is solely based on facts, but it is received well by both your classmate and your teacher. You get a handful of quota for doing well. All right, let's do this. Um, okay, that doesn't work. What about this one? No. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Alright, let's see. How about I switch this here? How about I add more value? Let me add value here. And let me add another value here. Oh wait, oh, I did it. Okay, I gotta click on it again. Yes. See, we did it, chat. We use value. Cool. Oh no, here we go in one of the worst things. You're just putting your boots on to grab dinner in the lounge when you hear the colony siren begin to wail. It's a yearly attack. Oh, they couldn't even have to wait until you ate dinner. Rude. Outside your window, you watch the colony defense begin to mobilize. Your hollow pen chimes with the usual reminder for all saloons to stay indoors. Join this colony defense. You head to the garrison to grab a plasma rifle, then report to the front. Chef Rack looks surprised to see you, but assign you to a squad with a mean and tell you to get up on the walls and do your best. On the other side wall is more xenos than you've seen in one place, ever. They sieve out of the forest, and large and small, herbivores and predator, fungi and otherwise flying and crawling and hopping towards the colony with a single-minded determination. The air fills with pews of laser torrents and the crackling of plasma fire. The enemy's front line collapsed only to be replaced with even more xeno, just as many before, it's more, if not more. There is no end to it. The fire break turns into a graveyard of dead and dying alien bodies, wave after wave crawling over the corpses until they roll out of the base walls like the foam on the wave, then it hits the shore. You hear the walls crackling underneath you, but they hold strong. Stress. There is no sun to settle the glow, but night falls on the battlefield without any break in the fighting. Your fingers begin to cramp, pulling the trigger of plasma. Finally, relieved by the second guard shift, you walk straight into the garrison into right a dreamless sleep. You you awoken 6 hours later next for your next shift. The kitchens have provided the soldiers with pressed soy rations and hot bleep tea, which you grab, then make your own way back to the walls to survey the carnage of the night. As you arrive, the hollow pen light up priority message. Security personnel, we are under siege. The security chief says, getting right to the point. On Earth, sieges were used to break a city for starvation or drought. We have plenty of food and water. Guards will rotate 6 hours, 6 off. So long as we keep the signals on the other side of the wall, we're holding them off for days, weeks even. Weeks? Everyone exchanges an exhausted look. He pauses and asks, we do this, we're stronger than them. We're not going anywhere. You and the other soldiers fall into the fightful rhythm, alternating shifts on the wall with brief snippets of sleep. Gunfire becomes the soundtrack of your days, which begins to smear together like paste. Enmin is particular suffering. She volunteers for relief shifts, sometimes putting doubles or triples on the wall. You catch her mechanically shoveling soy produce into her mouth before seemingly fall asleep, sitting up. A minute later, she jolts awake and someone's spoon clusters against her bowl. Tempers grow short as fatigue sets in. 6 days pass. You're on a shift watching the Xenos battling themselves against the wall. You feel your eyes unfocused at the sheer formless horde of them. In all these days, you still haven't breached the colony. Sometimes they even seem to retreat, bending backwards and forming somewhere else in behavior you've never seen before. A group of monsters break from the tree line, nothing new except for one of them. One of the Xenos looks different from the others, almost humanoid. What is that thing? Oh my god, what? The creature looks suspiciously like a person, at least from the waist up. Down below, its lumbering chimera vaguely resembles of a faceless, wrapped in tattered bits of flesh, bony protrusions. Something like hair flutters behind as it turns and looks right at you with an unnerving, malevolent intelligence. You rub your eyes. Yeah, it's still there. 'Cause 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 It approaches to the base of the wall, and the other monsters surge forward to pound it, try to talk to it. You wave to it. The creature sneers and, to your surprise, it approaches the wall. Ah, little weed. They address you with a halting, rasping voice. Everything seems to be go quiet nearby as you strain to understand talking horror. Child of breeding rabbits, feral pig, kudzu, an unnerving human gaze pierces you, introduce species you understand. You wonder if you're hallucinating. Is it holding a gun? You slowly nod. Yes, you understand the words at least. I am noctilucent, the monster says through a voice box that seems better suited to guttural roars than human language. The gardener. A gardener disingenuation. Pest control. I perform my task unlike gardener symbiosis. Sim, yes. Now that now that they are standing still, you can see the seat of Sim's slightly inhuman features staring back at you. Is her hair a bit like Sim as well? Is it actually alive somehow? Waving in the wind, it said, "What do you want? What do you want? Who are you talking to?" You jump as the man sneaks behind you. Nobody. You shake your head and mumble something about needing sleep. You promise Sim you wouldn't talk about the gardeners. She nods upon the siege is getting to everybody. Selena, it's okay. It's okay. Finally, after 6 days of the siege, you look down the sight and the players run to see a curious thing. The monsters are retreating. As you get out with the other soldiers in the colony square, the Holland lights prior to an announcement from Governor Lim. The alien attacks have been defeated, he says. The siege has ended. Lim smiles broadly and pulls off his chest. Another year, another win. You're welcome, Virtuma. You're welcome, humanity. You're welcome? You hear, and sees Rex nearby looking livid. What did he do? He runs to a security officer, race, race out there like an idiot with his honor guard, defending strictly unsounded positions, put himself in danger as we save his overstuffed ass. The soldiers all shift, confirmed, but no one disagrees. And then I actually need him. And when I actually needed him, Rex continues, taking his 20-hour beauty rest while the rest of us stagger through endless shifts. The soldiers are exhausted from the siege, so the crowd in the square disperses quickly. Only a few Helios remain, currently filming Rex while he continues to rail against Loom. On the horizon, the first rails of the quiet streak the sky with lavender. You watch Utopia's recognised crew head through the gates to begin vaporizing xenocorpses for their component molecules. The night you have terrible dreams. You imagine that they're sieging the colony, that your creatures crawling in the mud of your belly, and the ozone crackle of plasma rifle arching overhead with your tailored claw you rip into the walls like you're made of clay, stuffing choking handful of your mouth. In the moment of lucidity, you try to pull the clay from your throat, but no matter how hard you pull, it never ends. You jolt up, you jolt awake when you realize you've been pulling your own guts out of your throat. Just a dream. You're shaking and coated in a film of terror sweat. You're help, honey. You don't find sleep against before dawn break. It's early quiet now. I'm 18. Hey, Dish, what you up to? The soldiers keep trying to recruit me to hunt animals, Dish says, rolling his eyes. They think the only reason anyone should go frowning to kill everything around and they put it up a flag. Idiots. He strums his fingers over and hits the knee in his belt. I mean, yeah, I killed animals out there, but he shrugs. It was only because I had to. Kill or be killed doesn't mean murder everything indiscriminately. Hmm. That's where the alien is, right? I'm gonna see if the alien is there. Because I want to see what important events are here again. Because I know this is where we found the alien thingy. I don't want to do it. The other stuff, I just want to see what, like the main things here. I'm happy I'm able to bypass this. Oh, Utopia has sent a team of geodes to get closer look at the region weird terrain. You come across them working until it beckons you over. Solange, she says, drawing everyone's attention to you. Solange, come here, everyone. Solange's been working in this area a while, and she's got plenty of information on what's out here. The geologist politely turns toward you and listens. Here's what we got so far, Utopia says, speaking directly to you. Judging from how the layers of sedimentation are broken up, this place used to be pretty flat for what they've been a ton of earthquakes recently ripping the land and brings up all these huge ridges. We can dig the crates a long time. These ruins we created, she adds, and we're looking, but we haven't seen any built after them, like it was for a good old convergent domain. Those broken up layers are the same across the planet. Something sure happened 20,000 years ago. Help them work. What'd I get? Engineer, okay. You set up with drone hive to measure the summit layers along with the cliffside, and there are a few things about the rocks. Cool. Let's see what other interesting things are going on here. Hey, things should die. You're taking a sample of the base of a tree when you feel something patter over your head and fall to the ground. It's a nut. That's strange. The species doesn't usually. You look up and stomach lurches when you realize you've been watched this whole time. A pair of familiar eyes peers at you. He grins down at you. Well, if it isn't the little human, have you come to visit me? Sugar bug? But I saw you die. Did you? He says. You didn't think I would remember that. If you did witness my death, I apologize. Sim continues. He leans down from his branch as long as his hair dangling just out of reach. I imagine I didn't enjoy it much either. How can you just die and come back? It's a gardener thing, he replies dismissively. He's so casual about it. I make regular backups just in case. Backups? Sim gives you a little smile. Sure, by now you know I cannot divulge in the species of my role here. It doesn't stop you from hinting. Sim's smile grows wider, and he thrills with laughter. I know, having a secret is much more gratifying than I expected it would be. I guess I'm happy you're alive. Sim sighs gradually. I wish everyone felt like that. He mutters. One of my associates seems to feel otherwise. As you're confused, look, he waves his hand. One of the other gardeners, Nocto Linson, they really don't care for you humans. I'm afraid they're aware I've taken an interest in you. With a sort of wimp, Sim drops gracefully out of the tree and dusts himself. He claps you on the shoulder. I'd watch out for them if I were you, he says. They're quite dangerous. Sim turns to leave, but you sputter and grab his sleeves. You can't, after all that. He deserves some answers, real ones. He owes you that. Are you really Sim? The one and the same, Sim answers, carefully prying your hand from the clothing. I acknowledge this is difficult for you to understand. He takes a deep breath, considering his words carefully. Humans have been one short window of consciousness which encounters you to think of yourself as individual points of line of history. You are quite clearly not your parents or your grandparents. You are your unborn children or your unborn children. You are your own mysterious creature. He places his hands to his chest. I do not disappear when this form dies. I am eternal, in a sense. I am who came before and I am whom will come after. I am my own legacy. I am symbiosis. What do you really do here? Sim gives you a blank smile. I am a gardener, he says, simply. I am created to be a gardener, and imagine I will be until my services are no longer required. As you look of confusion, Sim softens. Humanity is so concerned with purpose, he says sadly. It is because you were not created for one. You spend the eternity of your short life under the impression you need one. The concept of someone having a purpose must be seductive. He shrugs one elegant shoulder. My existence is simple. I act the way for which I was created. This is not an interesting answer for an individual species as yourself. I am aware. Perhaps we must both accept that may be beyond human capacity to comprehend. He tilts his head to the side as if listening to something and squeezes your hand. I fear I had too much. I said too much. I hope I can see you again soon, and we might not be revealed to you. Okay, we got that done. I don't need question marks. I need exclamation points. Exclamation points. Where can you be? Exclamation points. Exclamation points. Exclamation points. Exclamation points. Points. Take that. Exclamation points. Crystals. Exclamation point. Utopia is giving you clearance to poke around the ruins in the Secret Valley. Stars, this place is neat. There's things too, so too. At least we don't have to climb back down again, he mutters, but you can tell he's excited. The buildings are arranged in a spiral formation around the central point. They're made of the Osec obsidian, something that looks like a petrified bone, and have parts missing where other organic material has long since rotted away. It's all overgrown with veins and buried in shifting sands. You follow the spokes of the streets until you approach the center of the valley, with a large pyramid-shaped building sits surrounded by temples and variety of the other smaller buildings. Check out the pyramid. You walk around the massive pyramid, but you don't see any entrance into it. It's still tight. It vibrates for its significance and looms heavily in your dream memories. You feel faint just before it closes to it, before close to it. But Dish doesn't seem to feel anything. When he insists you give up and investigate something else, you don't complain. Look at the thumpers. The four thumpers are in careful alignment, forming a square and with wide paths between them. The pyramid in the center once is almost reduced to rubble, none are still active. Investigate the other buildings. Smaller, more decorated pyramids building dot around the valley. Purpose unknown, there are also dozens of little obelisk, a couple meters wide around the circular design, one on one side. You approach a random one, and these ones are edge of the valley. Like the door in Dish monitoring station, you know what to do. The right up to close and circle, touch it, and the iris slides door open. Now you're looking through a larger round door in a small featureless room. Quite small, quite featureless, totally dark. Very creepy, but you can hear a faint hum. Is it powered? Bravely walk inside. Challenge. Alright, everybody. Alright, chat. Oh no. 90? Uh, this is gonna be... Okay, that's, maybe like this. What if I do this? Add this already. Um, honestly, I don't know if I want to. I want to clear this one because I don't know how bad the next. Okay. What if I do this? 27. Okay, I have to put this here. This is tough, chat. Okay, 28. All right. Wish me luck, chat. Yeah, this ain't gonna be good. Oh no, this ain't gonna be good. This ain't gonna be good. Okay, 8. 2. No, keep that there. 2. What if we have this here? We have this here, 3. Okay, that's not good. What about this? No. No. I guess this. Yeah, oh no, we screwed up. I don't think I have 44. Because all these... Oh my god, look at all these lame. These are terrible. Yeah, I can't even push through, and it's a very important. Okay, I could push through. Let me just give more. Wait, I was able to push through earlier. Why I can't? This doesn't make sense. Yeah, I can't. There's nothing I could do. I need to push through. You walk in, dish close behind, and suddenly the iris closes and the floor lurches and you're moving down. An elevator. The elevator squeals and grinds away like it hasn't been used in literally thousands of years. It doesn't go far, then grinds to a halt and the iris opens to reveal a large room with obsidian walls. Looking like all the convergent domain spaces, it's more cave than room, with stalactites everywhere and giant lumpy mounds of fungus. You wonder if the obsidian stuff they built will melt over time, running and dripping in extreme slow motion. There are two consoles on the walls, like this some kind of control room, just like the monitoring station Dish found. Most of it is like dark covered with a thick layer of dust, except one device and two weird bony knobbing sticks. Grab the two interference sticks. You're starting to get the hang of these convergent domain interfaces. You just hold these two stick thingies and you cease to be yourself. You're like a visual, audio, and weirdly tactile representation of something vast. You have feelings of being in a large, complex space. No, like you are the space. A digital space like a computer system, as if you were sucked inside a 3D representation of a hollow net, and you could see flies and process whole worlds of data. But in alien formats that speak to you in sensation than logic. You let go of the sticks and the console room comes back. You grab them again and understand fills your head. It feels not other different from your bouts of deja vu, remembering like memories of being inserted into your own mind, and you suddenly know how to use this interface. You think where you want to go, but you want to know away you go. What did I get? Engineering. Okay. The word array comes to mind. A network of computers housing millions of data nodes, information on every part of the planet, from weather to soil conditions to individual creatures. Not just computers, but entities that feel intelligent and also digital artificial consequences like your ship's AI, conjurance. They're processing all the data and triggering subroutines to make minute changes to the planet's surface. Then a booming voice enters your brain and obliterates all else, speaking more than abstract thoughts to words, but loud. What are you doing in Wormhole Observatory Array Council 5? You nosy little creature. Then an explosion in your head, and you're thrown backwards and out of the array. They have also been explosions in your heads, which are. Ooh, oh, I gotta get my charger. For some reason, I forgot to charge my laptop. Funny. Okay, I got the charger now. All right, cool. We're back to business. You're shaking. Something didn't like you poking around it. Whatever the array is, whatever lies in there has been watching you, probably ever since you landed. You have a feeling Sim has something to do with this. He's either in league with the array or is part of it. But knowing Sim, you won't tell you anything until he's ready to. You tell Dish about Array and the voice system wormhole observatory. He looks around impressed. The convergent domain was sure up to some shit, he says, and now you know about the array and how to access it. It could come very handy. It turns out to be danger in your colony. Seriously, damn. You decide to call it a day. Your arms feel. Alright, I'll come back. You roll back a bed knowing you're allowed to because it's your birthday, but also because you're exhausted. You barely slept all last night. You've been having those nightmares since the siege. More and more every night, like they're trying to tell you something urgent. You can make any sense of it. All the imagery is jumbled together. All these possibilities and timelines, things might happen. Some nights you wake up in a cold sweat, a scream already in your throat. You sit on the edge of your bed, run your hand through your hair, and check your hollow palm. A few people wish you a happy birthday, but that's all. You guess you're getting older. Birthdays aren't as important as they used to be. Right, and Mars wants to meet you for lunch in the lounge today. You had to practice your smile. You enter the lounge. Surprise! You do your very best to play along and act surprised. Whoa, streamers, balloons, great. Excuse me, as a reminder, for some reason I drank some coffee and I feel gassy. I don't know how that works, but I don't know how a lot of things work. So all of your all of your friends are standing around wearing goofy hats and clapping. Naomi is holding a bunch of balloons larger than they are, and Rex is wearing a cute little waiter's outfit with a bow tie. You expect their hugs and birthday wishes trying to hide your exhaustion and deterring with a few points of all this. For me, you shouldn't have. No, really. Rex wanders around with a tray of little snacks, offering them to everyone with a vampy accent and a silly headed giggle. The goofball act chips away at the natural awkwardness of a surprise party. That is the first 5 minutes of it. Offer everyone a shout surprise. As soon as everyone is laughing and enjoying themselves. Despite your exhaustion, you start to smile too. Your friends are so amazing and they're all here because they care about you. Then you get some unexpected guests. The lounge begins to fill with Helio kids. Most ones you don't know. The ones you should keep themselves in. Well, not much like the original Strasfire kids. Based on me are with them, his arms stripped over her shoulders. I'm gonna give you a little wave acknowledgement of your birthday, which earns a weird look of Ace. Hey, who invited you guys? Cal says, stepping forward with hands clenched. This is a private party. It's a public lounge, Vash replies. You can sit wherever we want. Cal stomps right in the midst of the Helios. You guys think that just because you fell off out of the sky, you're the wormhole's gift to Vertimus, he spits out. We don't need you. We never needed you. All you need to make friends like this party. You rarely see Cal so ready to fight. He doesn't seem to care. The body language of the Hilo kids has changed from cocky to dangerous. You're just some bus of fascists, Cal continues. You and alone. The lounge erupts, chairs screeching across the floor as the Healers jump their feet, yelling at Cal, calling the colony illegal and Cal a fugitive. They joust him around, but Cal plants his feet and stands his ground. You hear a bottle break and someone advancing at Cal. He's not backing down. Damn. None of them. Your voice is drowned out by this argument, and then someone throws a punch, and all chaos from there. Despite Cal's bravado, bravery, physically, he's no fighter. One of the hitters socked him in the stomach, and he goes down and falconers. Rex throws himself between Rao and associates, catching a few kicks and Cal behalf before the Cal gets tired and leaves. Here's a few parting shots, and Cal aligning the romantic interaction with Flaukouts. Vase doesn't get involved, but he doesn't stop them either. He's the last to leave the lounge, staring hard at Rex before smirking and turning away. Rex helps Cal to his feet. First time, huh? He says, distant Cal slowly. Don't worry, the problem got it out of the system. The party got out of us and good on you for sticking up to yourself. Amina lingers at a distance, clearly angry at Cal, but feeling bad about the fight. Well, Mars exclaims, clapping her hand. This was enough excitement, I think. Let's move on to the important part, cake and presents. Under Mars' skillful party hosting hand, the mood shifts back to the festive. You enjoy your presents and your cake, but tension's boiling over like this amidst a bad omen for the rest of the year. Alright, let's relax on the wall. You and Dish both blow up your responsibilities by relaxing on the wall. Sometimes you talk about stuff, but mostly you just give him space. He shows you his collection of dried flowers and herbs. He says he's big into the idea of neo-traditional medicine. Relaxing. Take the day off, or the month off. Both are good. I don't want. I wish you could pick which one you want to get rid of. You know what I mean? I want to... Okay, I'm almost at 30, so let's get for persuasion. Tank flags you down with the hallway. Oh, Selene, do you have a moment? You go on expedition sometimes, right? She asks, at least far than I do, or would ever wish to. So, would you mind me doing it? Of course. It's a small thing, and really, I'm to understand that it's not terribly dangerous either. I still even need you to bring me some hot eggs, and next time you come across a nest out there, I would ask Dish, but well, he makes an exclamation dismissive gesture. Why? For science, obviously, Tang replies. It's on a need-to-know basis, and you need to know. Just bring him some eggs, or you need to tell the chief why you're holding back. I'll keep an eye on them. That's how I asked. They're quite common in reports of forgers are be believed. They tell me a commonly find nest in the Valley of Vertigo. It's puzzily lousy with them. Card becomes social yellow. What if I do here? Hmm. No spam bot. I would not be interested in your cheap viewers garbage. Maybe I could do it here. No. Oh, I just need a good one. Oh, come on, I just need one more. Hmm. No, that wouldn't work. Uh, what if I do this? Okay, that did not work. Oh wait, I think I took the wrong one. I wanted this one, right? Huh? I'm getting more, but it's still not, Oh, that's interesting. I win, so that's good. Okay, we're in early pollen now. Let's see what's, Actually, let me check. Let me go back to the village place. Let's go on a date. Taking a transport, Dish calls out, and someone in the expedition waves him away as he climbs into one of the trusty vehicles. Dish slides easily behind the wheel and flashes you another smile, cheekier this time, as the transport rumbles cheerfully to life. Dish handles the transporter while sticking at first to well-worn roads before taking a poorly marked opening between the trees. Even off-road, Dish looks completely at ease. He drives until the forest suddenly stops and you break through the tree line and see an absolutely breathtaking vista drop down in front of you. Dish turns off the transport and turns to you. Pretty, right? He says, I love that outside the colony walls you can breathe anywhere and feel completely alone. You crack your eyebrow at a time and blushes and takes your hand. I like being alone, he says, but I like being alone with you even more. Aww. New boss event spawned. Let's check it out, chat. Because I think this part is like the most important. Because this is where the what do you call it, the main thingy is. So that's why I want to keep on focusing here. Silly goober creatures always following me. They're funny. Oh hey. Sam materializes out of the forest before you. Sulain, he says gravely, forgive my directness, but you must come with me now. He places his hands on your shoulder. Please trust me when I say I have done my best to argue on behalf of your kind. Help only for the continued survival of humanity. How? Ominous. He crushes down and slides into the hidden opening under the roots of the tree. You follow, feeling strangely as you come crawling in the belly of some animal. You emerge in a cave filled with hums of strange machinery. A bank of ancient-looking controls panels and a crystal tank of glowing liquid seems almost to have grown out of the natural rock. Mineral deposits from moisture trickling down the walls have reclaimed some of them. Sam leads the council. This is the array, he says, pressing what seems to be buttons. As I explained, this body I wear is only a vessel. My conscience, the person who I am, is stored in the array. I return to it regularly, storing my body in regeneration tank while I back up they've learned the day into the array. Physical forms are prone to injury and death, Sim says, quietly. It is temporary but highly unpleasant. Therefore, the overseers prefer to remain in the array. Sim directs you to weirdly fungal growth. Please take hold of the interface handles. You can actually touch the handle and says, so the overseer of the computer? The word software should be more accurate. A strange presence speaks in your head. Play cool. You can feel the overseer pause and a sensation in your mind that reminds you of something clearing the throat. I am the overseer, the voice continues. I speak for the gardeners and will not show you what you... We will now show you who we are. I'm ready. You have the oddest feeling of memories being inserted into your mind. First a trickle, then a flood. A civilization called the Convergent Domain once existed on this planet over 20,000 years ago. In your mind, you see the domain stretch from pole to pole, their farms, solar arrays glittering on the surface at the massive city's tunnels below. We are aware of that, the overseer replies, its voice dry in your mind. We know most of everything that happens on this planet. The Convergent Domain created the gardeners as their ecological control system, a vast network of artificial intelligence stored deep underground in a digital array. Self-propagating control towers and cloning stations were seated, allowing the gardener program to take biological form, downloading a copy of his consciousness into a host body created to suit the task of hand. You think of Sim, his body created to suit the task of befriending. Under the direction of the Convergent Domain, the gardener controlled the weather, the acidity of the soil, the community species of their farms, and rapidly shrinking wild areas of the planet. The overseer doesn't quite sigh, but you get the impression it would. Over time, the domain nearly destroyed the planet. They didn't respect nature? Correct, the overseer replied. They saw the nature world as unending buffet of resources. The exhausted from the researcher blanket the planet, choking the sunlight and oxygen. They consumed too much and destroyed the planet's ecosystem. They fought bitterly over the remaining resources. The last directive the gardeners were given by the domain was to repair the planet's destroyed ecosystem. The overseers said Sonia, the gardeners tried, but it was too late. When the crops failed, the atmosphere became too thick for sunlight to pierce. The Convergent Domain perished by the billions, and less rares took to the sky for the colony ship and never returned. You try to imagine a tragedy on a scale, but it's just too enormous to absorb to wrap your head around. The overseer continues relentlessly, his new thoughts flooding your mind. Over the millennia, the gardeners took their research seriously. It took little effort to render a planet unhospitable, but a significant deduction to restore it. Under the guidance of the gardeners, the final directive of the Convergent Domain, nature of the last reclaimed barren planet, the gardeners existed in perfect balance, and now your species had invaded. We had nowhere else to go. Your kind has the option to stay where they were. The overseer replies, the tone of the thought darkening. Do you think we have empathy for the Convergent Domain who fled on the colony ship? The ones who selfishly refused to give their bodies back to the planet when they destroyed with their pride? You chose to come here, the overseer continued, and you continue to stay here. You could instead choose to die. You shudder involuntarily. Some vermin species have technique of future sight with their gardener harness to catch glimpse into the web of timelines. We see that you pose this technique to alone in your kind. We have foreseen that humans pose a greater danger to this planet. We are a monoculture, an invasive species. You throw our hard-won balance in this array. Since arriving, you have shown nothing but a willingness to consume the planet's resources and replace them with more humans. We didn't even know you were here. You told the overseer that your parents didn't know. They told you large-scale set plans were unpopulated. You get the impression the overseer is scoffing at you. It's this energy of your favor that would feel gutless in destroying environment natural habit if you were no scientist species to claim ownership of. The gardeners do not own the planet. The overseer tells you, we are the planet. Most gardeners would prefer to stomp you humans out like encroaching weeds. The overseer says, without malice, indeed we have tried using ecological complaint organic methods. We are impressed at your tendency to withstand these eradication processes. Their yearly attacks the famine, the pollen, not random natural occurrence at all, but gardeners' tactics to encourage the eradication of pests. But Simba speaks in the defense of your kind. The overseer continues and took effort to convince us you were sentient and capable of communication. You present us with a quandary. You come from the stars, refugees of a catastrophic of your own design. One that you intend to recreate here on a planet which still bears the scars of the last time it was used carelessly. So we ask, what will we do with you? Humans can change, help us. So we teach your kind to be steward of nature. The overseer replies, perhaps your children take up the mantle as well, and their children. But soon you are dead as your children generation pass. No one alive remembers the time the gardeners come to the humans and taught them proper ways to live. And now there are too many of you to teach, and you prefer interest what than genocide? You have no answer. There is a silence in your head, and you only hear the sound of water trickling down the cave walls and gentle hums of the machines. Eventually, the overseer speaks your mind at last. For now, you may live and leave freely. We will consider this quandary and will be monitoring you and the other humans. You feel a strange pull of your consciousness as you remove your hand. There you have it, Sim murmurs. This is my boss. Your boss needs to get out more. Sim hums. He's afraid to laugh. He walks over and runs his hands over the console, and now you know how to connect to a ray, he says, quietly, but you should not come here unless I am with you. Sim takes your hand and looks at you solemnly. When you interface with a ray, you hold everything we have in our hands. It took a great deal to negotiate to convince my fellow gardeners to trust you in this power. Please do not prove this trust mistaken. Interesting. All right, let's see what other craziness is happening. All right, let's see what else I could find. Stuttering, but it's expected. You know, I have it at 720p. Maybe if I maybe for my next streams, I'll do 1080 to see if it works or not. Okay, this is where it was. You and Dish are exploring the ruined wormhole observatory again. It feels so familiar. You dreamed about this place many times. You just remember it all now. It's time the dream memories grip you. You wander as you sleepwalk through it down familiar paths. You will look up to see the wormhole fate in the sky above. It's time for the right to observe it. Dish tries to keep up. What are you doing? Where are you going? Yes, angrily. You don't answer. You're trying to concentrate on finding the place. You approach the large pyramid in the center of the complex besides one of the smaller elevators, a little monolith with a round door. This is the place your head throbs with. Even standing outside, you know there's something down there. Find a way. You look for one of the elevators monolith near the pyramid and find it, but it's overgrown with snaling vines and brambles. Very large run over it. You pass through it, but Deer stops you and shows you a ginger counter reading on his holopath. These flowers seem to be reactive. Your suit won't protect you for long. Push through. You soon realize your mistake at the radiation illness sets in. Brushing for flowers, you big dose. You'll be sick for days and need radiation treatment from you. But for now, you continue to run forward, sometimes in your head. You enter the elevator and it's thankfully still working and descend beneath the ground. It opens a kind of antechamber room with an exit on the other side, leading the heart of the pyramid. There are glyphs carved into crystal panels on the wall, symbols that resemble a wormhole. You start across a room. The further you go, the more your head swims. You have to pass. You think you might faint. Isn't just right. There's something down here with some great and making your head hurt. You shake down your head, try to clear. Keep going. The fog slowly clears from your and head starts to hurt. Dish looks concerned. Are you going so far to reach out to steady? Are you okay? Try to explain to Dish. It's hard to put in words. You say, my head hurts. Obviously, he said, but no, it's more than that. You're seeing things kind of like Ray, some of the dream, but You feel something super important up ahead and you need to see it. Maybe we better leave this, says Nurse Lee. You don't look good. Keep going. Past the entrance, a long highway along, different realities overlapping. Tish face is starting to phase out in existence. You hit the strong way with dizziness for fast blackout. You slip unconscious when you wake up. You're back in the collection site. Tish has dragged you out and called for help. Your headache is gone and a medical scan shows nothing wrong with you, but you feel completely weak and drained. Ah, that sucked. That really sucked. Okay, let me see if I get persuasion up. Study the humanities. Conjuring tells you what today you've been learning about the history of capitalism on Earth. You mean why humans used to have nice things and now just eat mush, triplets, and soy cakes? Mars says smugly. Please, Earth humans might have messed everything up, but at least they have style. Every patent Conjuring ignores Mars contributes and projects a hello bit into classroom. A sullen woman in weird clothes and the ventures of Haven Constance Odeham, an educational designer of the Vatium Group, and tells you that the following experience has been created specifically to teach you. The third generation of the group, with the largest contribution factor in the Earth destruction capitalism. Even the other students exchange words, worried looks. You spent the day in an interactive experience that covers the history of capitalism, from market feudalism to transition of colonialism, then its major phases in industrialism, mass production, and corporation. It's the end of discussion how it collapsed in the late 21st century as wealth inequity and environmental concerns finally weakened its hegemony along with the planet itself. Sounds horrible. The educational experience tells you that despite being regarded as many simply capitalism has been responsible for more violence on the earth than any act of war. From its very beginning at the colonial powers spread mercantilism across the globe. It requires a constant supply of people to exploit through its means necessary. It took centuries of people to realize how horrible capitalism was. Once people could see, no longer hide it from the racist colonist history. You're partway through the lesson when Carl realizes that parallels. We live in a colony, don't we? Aren't we colonizing environments? Isn't it wrong? Of course not, Demi Moore says. These aren't any people here. Animals count too. Kyle nods but Mars is not impressed. I squashed doorknobs the other day. She retorts, are we going to put a funeral jail for money crimes? Yikes, Elaine. You should lock yourself in your room if you're worried about hurting the environment. Tangent watches exchange silently, but turns her head and doesn't meet your eye when you look at her. Get to work. 3, 3, 3, 6, 8. Hooray! Win! Sweet. Late pollen. New perk. Cool. That's good to know. I'm not gonna go back to the thing until like the organizing, I mean the, what do you call it, the outside world, until I get everything back, so. Maybe I could start working on organizing. Amino, empathy. Okay. I think the work was organizing. This one here. No, that's not it. It was up here. Empathy is low as well. Hmm. Organizing, perception, persuasion, work in the depot. Jack rolls her eyes when she sees you report to the depot for the first day as a clerk. Oh, it's you. They depend. Well, at least you might learn something useful while you're here. The depot is where the precious nanoprinter lives. Sheik lord over the tyrant and don't like children. They load they load the depot model on your hollow palm and walk through the process. People submit requests for nanoprinter the portal. They explain, it's your job to program the correct routine into the nanoprinter to fill the order. Then you mark it as available for delivery or pickup, depending on what we have delivery person again available. And we almost over. With the functionally explanation, she leaves you to figure out what to do your own. It's okay for the first hour or so, because no one puts in a request, and it's pretty early. Maybe everyone is still asleep. Clean and organize the apartment. There isn't a lot to organize, at least don't store a lot of stuff here except for the things that we need all the time, like toothpaste. But you find a bucket or start to mop the floors in an old-fashioned way, because there's nothing wrong with taking part in your work. You jerk back to reality and have it pulse through your holopen. You first order, excitedly open your holopen and read, elbow grease, 1 gallon. It reads from Cal Geoponics. Very funny, Cal. You just made the phony request. Ha, Cal got jokes. Another one pops in 100. Flashlight, fluid, 2 gallons, amino sports, diversity. Really, amino? Another bogus recursion, or your friend's trying to prank you. You've already missed the second one, but the third one comes flammable, 2 matrix hashish. The Chinese really a pregnant type, but you stop yourself from looking up to the gas. You dismiss or message your friends and knock it out. And finally, your real get down to work. It's easier than you thought. You're finishing up Mark strolls in. I don't have right. She hops up onto the depot counter and primarily crosses her legs. I am so really relieved to have you as my assistant right here. So Lane finally, someone to haul boxes and fetch things to and focus on important work. I don't care which one of you is in charge, Sheik interrupts, so long as you get work done. Sheik pauses. Wait, did you really wash the floor? They say, looking impressed. Well, that doesn't deserve a reward. Oh, that does. Here you go. They swipe their hollow payment for his pulse as you a couple kudos for your account. Marge will hardly wait until Sheik is gone. Giggles. Either way, I'm glad you're here. The job is usually boring. Let's. If I'm gonna put that here then. Cool, win. Yay. Hooray. We won. We won, chat. Okay, done. Alright, let's see if I could buy anything. Cake. How to play best hand. Hmm. Toughness, persuasion. I like that. Let's get that. Sweet. Hmm. Let's do any empathy. 1 empathy, 3 reasoning. 3. Let's go that. You report to your first shift at Dr. Instin's nursing assistant. Insist when they're supposed to be the little doctor for everyone in the colony. All the colony medical needs were supposed to be covered by the med bay. And then eventually we've trained medical professionals from your generation. With the growing number of wounded and sick, it's pulling Insist's attention away from the actual work in the lab. Hence why she needs your help. I'm a doctor, not a physician. Instance rumbles as she swiped through her holopalm and gave you access to the medbay. And it can study the local sauna fauna so it stops killing us, or we can burn and upset tummies. I can't do both. There, she says, as the hoptics in the holopin pulse. You should have access. Now don't bother me for anything less than a cranial bleed in its medbay. Not a jar of leech. You just follow instruction and push the right button. You need something as congruence. Congruence beams at you from the holometer. Can you handle that? I can handle anything. That's the spirit. Congruence trips. It's you and me, Solane. High five. You gently bonk Congruence panel with your own palm and she laughs. There are no patients today, so you just brush up on your first aid training. Every colonist gets the first aid training starting in their early teens. Lungs gotta breathe, heart's gotta beat, blood should stay inside the body. Check. You throw the quiz with conjurings for a whole week. CPR, evaluate the put pressure on the wounds, wrap broken bones, flush eyes with water, leave foreign objects in, and are real careful with neck injuries. Fun fact, conjurers informs you, in the field, your holopem can discharge its batteries all at once as a makeshift defibrillator. First aid is important, but the goal is just to get the person stable long enough to bring them here to the medbay where you doctor instance will take over. You'll be fine, but it's over a matter of life or death. No biggie. Get to work. Uh, two, 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 three. Yay. Win. You worked well this month. This year, Governor Loom's ascension to the Vermilion stage is heralded by an entire military band. Their instruments shiny, non-printed new. They march out of command in formation. The splitting and forming of Bainalex at the foot of the stage at Loom takes place before you. Spotlight turn on heavy on ka-chunk noises illuminating Loom in the halo of floating dust particles. He spreads his arms wide. Hello, Vertumina. His voice booms over the speakers. Are we winning or what? The reactions miss. You look around and it's easy to see the ones cheering the loudest are Helios and people who fully adapt their mentality. Like men, the Stratus are more reserved, some even silent. Security is one of them, his usual stony expression hiding his true feelings. Regardless, there is enough cheering that Loom has to wait for it to die down before it continues. We're killing it out there, people, he exclaims. Every day we claw a little more territory from the savage aliens of the planet. A Watatu part arches through the air and lands with a broken spout at Loom's feet, starting with him juice. You don't see who threw it, but the faction from Geoponics is looking restless. They begin to jeer and stomps their foot. Loom continues on raising his fist. Those signals attacked us first, and now they're learning don't mess with humankind. The crowd is not ever split between cheering and booing. The Stratus are agitated, and you hear calls for their return to how they were and how Loom and his soldiers are killing the planet. Even the councils lined up before the stage facing the crowd looks conflicted. We let Thurf to get away from this shit, your dad shouts, and you turn him to surprise. He rarely swears. Look at us now. We're right back where we started, fighting each other and the planet we brought with us. Utopia hops on stage and rots her own here speak through the speakers. He's lying, he yells bitterly. This year we lost two surveyors in the swamp, Saray and Quinn. They'll be alive today if Loom hadn't sent them to clear out many dens for no reason, no good reason. He jams his finger against the governor's chest. The only threat to our colony is you. Loom's smile doesn't change, but his eyes goes cold. He snatches to her hand and calmly, slowly crushes her jalapeno crystal with her thumb. You can hear the crunch of the bone before your feet cuts off. Utopia yelps at her knees, buckling in pain. Her bravado gone, she holds a broken hand to her chest and too shocked to resist what Loom shoved off stage. The crowd is stunned and silence as well. Loom clears his throat, and then the stage, looming tall, the council. Thank you for your input, he says icily. Your concerns have been noted. This isn't a buffoon Loom present on daily holovids or a nuisance to where he visits worksite. You see humming, something in his eyes were clearly caught glimmering over before hatred. You Stratos are lucky we didn't crush you under our boots and take your colony by ourselves, he sneers. Before we got here, your colony was doomed and only alive because I was merciful. Just a bunch of burned out hippie fugitives without was your plan to survive out here. Wishful thinking, singing songs, and talking to animals. Laughter erupts through the halos. You, he gestures to the council, then jerks his thumb on his chest. Need us, not the other way around. I'm done pretending I need to listen to your opinions. If you want to live, you'll do what I say. He stares at Dr. Instance, who glares at him with fear hate. Maybe it's time to clean house, he threatens. We need team players, one who share one vision for our future of Vertumania. After a few tense moments, she clears a hum. Sir, shall I continue with the traditional formalities now? Loom scrolls down as he then throws his hands in the air. Whatever, do it. It'll make you feel better. You're all cowards. He turns and stalks off stage. His marching band scrambles follow with his exit song. As promised, there are no contests this year, but there is plenty of food and alcohol. As the sun begins to set, the Helios included Van Sevenius head straight for it and look ready to party into the night. The other teams seem to little less ease. Dish, quite predictably, has left. Go find Dish. You don't find Dish on the walls or in the robotics or any of the usual hiding spots. Not even Concurrence can get ready limitation. You might have an idea though. You creep up Sim and Dish meeting secret outside the colony. Trust me, Dish, I'm not concerned, Sim says, in his hand resisting on Dish's shoulders internally. This planet is no danger of being subjugated by humans. You don't get it, Dish exclaims. They're really serious. They're going to use bombs. You've seen bombs, right? Explosions. What if cut down every tree or poison the river or... Dish, Sim smiles patronizing. I forget sometimes that you're so human, he says. And Dish scrawls, you're stuck in time, unable to see beyond the next 100 years. Even if your species manages to wipe all life from this continent, we will simply bring it back again. It may take 20,000 years, but this planet will outlive you. Dish knocks him head away and wipes his tears. Why are you always so calm? He spits out. Other gardeners aren't like this. Other gardeners know that humans are dangerous. Dish. Sim sighs, closing the distance between them and folding into a gentle hug, like one would approach a biting animal. I'm not like the other gardeners, not anymore. Just like you're not like you're humans. Dish sniffles and buries his head. I just wish you would let me help, he murmurs, almost too quiet for you. Make some noise. You let yourself snap a branch and move through the dry brush, and Dish leaps away from Sam with a guilty expression. They both relax when they see it's you. Dish scrubs his red face. Hey, Solane, he stammers. I guess I should go back now, huh? You and Dish sneak back in the colony as the sun sets, dodging Base and his revealing friends. They're somehow wrangling themselves a triplet and are processing skewering roast over a big bonfire. You can hear its dying squeals from here, and shortly after that, smell the sweet charred scent of the roasting over the flame. Dish curls his lips. I hate this place, he mutters. Some wish everyone would just hurry up and die. This week, after Ventimiglia, is one of the hottest since you landed. You're supposed to take the time off, much needed break, but just humid and awful too. Tempers are short. Shortly after the festival, you start seeing graffiti cropping up everywhere. It seems a little lively, and that particular civil conversation between two factions is being held on a flat surface of the colony. Luma announces zero policy tolerance for political graffiti, but you notice not every tag is being removed, just the ones against the war. Of course, the atmosphere of the colony is oppressive, as thick as choking dust, he said. Everywhere you try to relax, people try to talk about the war. To make matters worse, the sweltering nights are making your nightmares henceforth. You return to the work feeling more stressed than before. And it does. Alright, everybody, it's been an hour and a half, and I'm kind of surprised the internet, I'm surprised it survived this long, so I'm going to end it right here. So I want to say thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, afternoon, night, whatever time it is over there, where you're from. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Alright, take it easy now. Bye-bye.